What is good, friends? We're back once again. Zoe here, joined by Necra and Jack, and we're about to dip into our third match already of the EMEA region. Last match for today for the region. The teams have been low-key speedrunning this one. Is it going to be the same for this one? We don't know.
What was that? A 39-second push on Numbani earlier? Like,
that was insane.
How is that possible?
That was actually low-key. Is that a record? I still don't have it confirmed. It felt like a record. I think
it has to be a record.
Yeah,
I think this year record.
I do think it's a record. Yeah, but I think even like when you think about. I don't know. I've been smacked on Numbani a couple of times, but even if that's the case, I feel like
that was like
45 seconds is usually far.
They got to the point, they 3x, and it was like, they only need 35%, but yeah, it's got to be the quick.
It was like there was no enemy team on the server. That's how it looked like. Yeah. Let's talk about the next two teams we get to see. I hope they're not falling and crumbling quite in the same way. Twisted Minds, of course, we've only seen them in action once. Expectations are high. I mean, name value alone on the bench, on the main roster. Insane. Absolutely insane stuff. They did lose 3-1 against Gen G, which, I mean, we now know are an incredibly good team. They've looked so very solid. But Twisted Minds, we wanted to see a little more from them. Was it the meta? What didn't go their way?
You know what's funny? Like, let's not even discuss the meta because it's changed, right? And I think that's actually like, okay, so the Hazard against Gen G just didn't end up working out that well. They did end up going into it, like banning Tracer. They banned the Genji for one of the games. Ana, like, Hazard, like, okay, we don't want to play that. They played up to Dorado, the fourth map. Gen G won in a 3-1. Mag went Wrecking Ball. Like, I wonder how Twisted Minds deal with this new meta because, hey, Yubi's got a ton of experience in this kind of thing on the sim.
They're gonna do great.
I actually think they're gonna do very well going into this more. I don't even know what you call it. The turret meta. I don't know.
The turret meta. Well, Qadsiah, we've seen them twice now. 1-1 score. Their first showing against Peps was rough. Let's say it how it is. Against Vision, though, absolute banger of a match, Necra. They're obviously more familiar with your position there as well, as it's yet another Saudi team. So we once more get a Saudi clash. In a way.
We do. I do think that there's a key difference between these two teams, though, and that's when you take a look at these rosters. I think there's a little bit more inflexibility when it comes to Qadsiah. You've got some fantastic players, like name value alone also makes you look at this roster. And I do think overall these two teams are very evenly matched when it comes down to individual skill level. But when the meta now gets introduced as that extra layer of difficulty, you've got a lot of players on Qadsiah that really only play one or two heroes. And so I think the viewers might have the right call on this one. I think Twisted Minds probably have more strategy that they can pull on.
I feel like that's a teeny tiny... There's a little bit of rudeness. I feel that
Explain.
Because Qadsiah, they played really well. Like what they've shown us.
They were very clutch
in the last match.
Yes.
It was so clutch. Like there were so many hero plays. Like they are not a bad team. So I feel like 11% is not very much. I would have given them more.
You give them a little bit more. Come on, guys.
Just a little bit. Like 20%.
Yeah, but like the Hottie buff. And,
I know, but still.
You know, like
they've got Astro, they've got War,
they got Quartz
Yubi.
Yubi. Like that DPS duo is crazy good.
Right. But
yeah,
no,
I see
Qadsiah, put some name, put some respect on them. Also, Tread, I think, was phenomenal last week. Like they got a lot of firepower.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I think with Zed starting, like obviously Tread not coming in. Okay, so we're not going to be looking at the Hazard here. So we're looking at something else. So I'm wondering if we're going to see Tread back in, if they do want to like, hey, actually, we're going to play Hazard. We're going to play more of like last week's meta. Also, funnily enough, last year, Tread was the guy that was like, I'm going to take down Space Station at the time with Hardy. Like, I want to be the best tank in EU. We'll see if he can kind of do that, if he ends up being subbed in. Because right now, it's all up in the air, this meta stuff.
I mean, also, we're starting on Control, which is not a real map type, so anything goes. Jack, Rose, walk us through our map set and the bans.
I'm so happy that's the narrative now.
Thanks, Zoe.
That is my narrative.
Fraudulent. Look, I was used Control, so yeah. Qadsiah banning second, so they banned Mauga, but a Twisted Minds banning Farah. So we're going to Summer, Rose, with TM picking the map.
Pharah feels like it's just a protection ban at this point. I feel like we have seen Pharah from some teams, but it's kind of been neither Twisted Minds nor Qadsiah that have actually brought out that pick. And so you just kind of ensure that you get a chance to play the things that you want to. Sojourn, you get to play the Torb and the Sim. Twisted Minds are leaning into the comp that we've seen already earlier on today and in OWCS Korea. So what are you making of this, Jaws? More Wrecking Ball. Ziad comes in to play the Diva, one of his own best heroes. We just haven't really had a chance to see him in professional play in a while. He was on the bench of Twisted Minds last year.
Yeah, I think banning the Pharah does actually make sense, because if you just want to go for the little counter real quick, if you're Labda, then the Sim and the Torb are going to get owned, especially on this point too. Very easy for the Pharah to get a lot of value, because there's a lot of high ground you can hide around.
Oh jeez, I forgot Labda was a Pharah player. He hasn't played Pharah in a while, but yeah, you're right.
Pretty dominant on the pick too when he picks it up. Good first cap though. Okay, Landon in the back line is going to be super safe. This is the big benefit for our Qadsiah, is that you have Landon on his best hero in BAP, and you also have a Torb right next to him too, and a Lucio. So getting the kill onto Landon is going to be near impossible. In fact, he's close to an ultimate already. 10% to go before the window is unlocked, but Quartz is there with the first kill onto Checkmate, but already swiftly falls after the hands of Labda. A slam into the backline instantly kills the Sojourn. The window has been deployed on an off angle as the turret just melts Hardy through window. Name a better combo, window and turret.
Maybe I raise you.
Maybe literally
window
anything
and
else.
Beam.
Yeah, literally anything.
It looks cool though. It does look cool. I mean, the turret needs a little bit of love too. Torbjorn finally getting his chance in the sun. And, you know, following up that window, we have Qadsiah being able to come in with something like the Sound Barrier, and they still keep control at the point.
Yep, big stall potential. You be dead to Ziad. Okay, and dealing with the turret's not a problem. He's going to actually just fight on the rush, just lasers down Funny Astro as well. Qadsiah in a good spot. And now it's Twisted Minds. One of the big issues with the comp is, well, how do you get Torb, how do you get Sim into the position where they can do value? Because as soon as they step on the point, they're getting shot from all directions. Labda, Landon too, just lasering people from across the map. They're going to go a little bit early here, but Checkmate just hitting the E in the spawn. You love to see it. Labda finds 2 off the rip, and Qadsiah, that should be the map.
Yeah, this is going to be the round. It should be the round. You're absolutely right about that. 4 ultimates still for Qadsiah to be able to seal the deal on this one and take us to the next round of Samoa. But now before Hadi comes back, those Wrecking Ball rollouts are pretty fast.
Hadi is back in. And Hadi almost dies. There's the window. Decent angle too if they want to wrap around the other side. Sound Barrier, late one, Molten Core, wall, everybody throwing ults in. Quartz just dancing around the wall for the time, throwing that Molten Core out. Nice bit of coverage on the point, but pretty easy to dodge, especially in a fast comp. Late Molten Core here for Checkmate, a defensive one as Hardy slams him into Jam. And Funny Astro, short, comes up with a kill, but it is now Hardy trying to get the final touch, unable to do so, and shooting his ex-teammate and Landon in the face.
The beef. I wonder if actually there is any beef. I feel like there isn't. I feel like when you look at the Space Station squad of last year, they played together for what, like 3 whole years together, and now they're all off to do their own thing.
It was kind of a sad departure, I think. Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
Obviously, when they were London Spitfire, they didn't have Astro at that time. It was Admiral. But the core has been, together for forever, which was a little bit, disappointing and surprising, a little bit exciting as well in a certain way, but not seeing them all together again. It felt like a band of brothers, for sure. Let's have a look on the second map though, Rose. Hardy jumping over to Ram instead now.
I do think the Wrecking Ball is difficult here. I think you'd agree with me. It's like 100%. There's not really a lot of skybox or rollout that doesn't make that Wrecking Ball pretty vulnerable. So I think having the Ramatra just plays a little bit easier, especially if you're going to continue to run something like the Symmetra. Maybe the Twisted Minds can get in there first, that they can take control of the point, and this composition will play a little bit better when the Symmetra is at that defensive angle. But Qadsiah has very mobile characters. You've got the power slide on the Sojourn, as well as just the boosters from the Diva. You can get around a lot of this damage.
Checkmate was playing my kind of Torb there, on and off angle, alone with just your turret while your team die in frontline. He was the first to fall though, so maybe punished for his sins. As you saw Hardy there, just hugging the corner rows. And as soon as they know the Nemesis form is going to eventually expire, and then they were really trying to push Hardy out of the point, just try and get the pick. And Hardy, once again, is going to be the target for Qadsiah. He's on this corner, pops the Nemesis form again, and as soon as he starts crossing his arms, you know he can't do anything to help the rest of his team. He's going to be able to get back to the point in just a moment, but this window should end it as Twisted Minds get 34%.
I mean, the fact that Hadi got booped down to the low ground and still had to walk all the way back, just removing such a tank presence, it can make this so much easier for Qadsiah. 34% is still not bad, right? And you still have so many other resources like the Kitsune Rush to help close the gap here. And Qadsiah already respecting that. They press that S key. They want to go back to the point.
Nice rush, but can they get picks? A little teleporter bomb there with the little turrets. Those turrets will get destroyed, though. Self-destruct on the points. Yubi just trying to focus the D.Va as much as possible. No self-destruct, easy target for Yubi to focus down. And as soon as Ziad falls, it's going to be much harder for Qadsiah to stay on this point. Funny Astra with a double boot kill, though. I don't see them every day as Twisted Minds with ult to spare find the flip.
There you go. This is the setup that Twisted Minds want.
I was running if they charge ult charge.
Yeah, no, don't worry. But we got Ziad actually going to switch over to the Ramatra now. So the D.Va can be a little difficult. You can't actually eat up the damage from those turrets from the Symmetra. And so maybe this Ramatra helps you get into these fights just a little bit better. But Twisted Minds have 4 ults for this, and starting off with the Molten Core.
Molten Core, wall use, Labda. Nothing to shoot out, unfortunately, apart from that giant photon barrier. Using the Molten Core, it does feel kind of bad early, though. Molten Core defensively for Checkmate. Oh, and now offensively. Sound barrier deployed for both sides. A turret kill for Checkmate's Molten Core. A little window, and Hardy is in the wrong neighborhood right now. He is in the back line of Qadsiah, who were just staring at him with a window. And the rest of Twisted Minds, they escaped with their lives. Hardy, unfortunately for him, was not quite so lucky. 89%. So Twisted Minds are in one-fight territory. It's just actually getting back in here now with no ults. Well, sorry, just those rush to their name.
I think the rush is probably the perfect tool that you want in order to take this fight faster. They try to push
Checkmate's back line. Oh, what is my boy doing?
Kill? Oh,
what is my guy doing? Checkmate. Checkmate tried to go for the flank kill onto Quartz. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you really do be looking like me. Labda ends up sinking into the lava, and that is going to be it. I mean, Ziad's on Doom. Checkmate goes Venture. Haku is going to come back on the Lucio, of course, but spawning last. Punch comes in, they get OT, grabs the Mega Pack, but I think that's going to be a bit of an easy focus fire there for Qadsiah. Landon falls, there's Ziad, and that should be a round for Twisted Minds.
Okay, they look so much better when that Symmetra gets a chance to be on the defensive side, set up the turrets, they lock down every angle, and Twisted Minds tie it up.
Okay,
now, what happens on third round?
I want to rewind. What happened to Checkmate on that round? Why was he in the back line? It's so quick. It's like, Quartz was like, wait, there's a Torb next to us. Like, what's going on? How is he here? Checkmate was like, I mean, look, ambitious. I like it. Hit E, goes to the back line, right click two times. It kills people, but...
hey, you gotta risk it for the biscuit.
That's
every Torb player's dream, is to get a flank kill with a turret or a hammer.
Yeah. I mean, look, you don't need to tell me twice. I'll be doing that. All right, Wrecking Ball for Hardy now, Rose. So we're going back to what we saw on stage 1.
Makes a lot more sense here. So much more open space to play around, and means you might struggle a little bit more against something like this Ziad D.Va. This was the perfect equation for Qadsiah to use to get that first round win. And Landon gets to play BAP again. That's the biggest hindrance to Twisted Minds.
Yeah, and it's such a good map for the BAPs as well. All you do is just sit up here.
These are so good.
With the Sojourn and then shoot the front line. Goodbye, Funny Astro. Does get healed eventually. And Hardy switching over to the Ram.
Ooh, nope, switching over to the D.Va.
Ooh.
Thought about the Ramattra and then decided maybe it's time for the D.Va. D.Va will have easier access to that backline like Labda and Landon. You can force out those important cooldowns like the Immortality Field or even the Power Slide. And you also have the Defense Matrix. What's better?
Yeah, it's a very, like, 2-star full art rare of Hardy D.Va. Labda is going to have a bit of a harder time. Looks like Funny Astro wants to make his presence known on the side. Quartz dead, though. Looks like Twisted Minds, they're on completely different pages right now of where they want to be. Yubi also falls. So now it's the backline for Twisted Minds and Hardy trying to get away.
Well, at least he's able to get away. But I feel like this is still not super clean coming out from Twisted Minds. But they thought maybe the Ramattra was going to be the ticket to winning against this D.Va. And now it's like, oh, okay, actually Hardy's going to play the D.Va now. And so maybe it just takes a little bit of time to oil up the machine.
And now you run into a window. Sure, you can absorb a lot of that fire, but you have to just slow it down. There's the window instantly used. There's a small conglomeration of turrets that they had to quickly deal with. But look at this. Once again, Twisted Minds split up. Quartz with the Molten Core. Doesn't really want to peek this. Throws the turret in just in case. Rush for Irony, but Hardy is already dead. They're going to be able to at least put a pressure on point here, but Quartz had to use the E early. Tried to go for the 1v1 versus Checkmate, and now the Molten Cores can reign as both Torbjorn's coating the point and just firing them towards each other. Ziad is still alive, and remember, Qadsiah right now are in control. Irony dies to the Molten Cores. Quartz falls. It's just every bit of AoE damage in the book, and Qadsiah will take that one.
Oh, I guess I thought maybe Hardy was there to get the touch, and then maybe I guess I was looking at Ziad's perspective. I don't know. Anyway.
Very weird round.
Yeah, okay. Good stuff.
Look, they ended up getting split up like 2 or 3 times during that map where, okay, the DPS, who are a little bit more stationary, don't want to dive, and then the other half of your composition, D.Va, Kiriko, Lucio, who aren't afraid of like getting into the back line, muddling the mixture a little bit, just rolling people, or at least trying to. So then Ziad's like, okay, that's fine. I just thrust it into your Torb. He has no E, and then we kill him, and then you have no damage. And there was a couple of times where that actually ended up happening.
I think you were onto something when you said that it doesn't really look like Twisted Minds are all on the same page. Totally different story when we were on Volcano. Twisted Minds looked like the perfect, well-oiled machine that we would like them to see. But when it went back over to Beach, they were completely split up again. Not really focusing on the same target, having different ideas of how to actually initiate on these fights. And it's kind of disappointing when you look at this roster, because I feel like when you have a player like Yubi who's so good at the Symmetra and was such a key part of the Twisted Minds roster last year, being able to make these slick teleporter plays, you would hope that maybe like, oh, this is gonna be the perfect meta to be able to bring that back out when Symmetra Torbjorn is what's on the docket for a lot of these teams.
It's funny that you say that, but a lot of the time, like, Yubi was there, yeah, kind of alone again, just kind of split up. The way the comp really wants to play, or at least on the surface of it, is, well, these slick teleporter plays, they're used to get you out rather than like before. It's like to get you in, and then the neutral game for the sim is like so important now, and Yubi just kind of being run over a little bit. We'll see if things change later as we go on. We'll see what map that Twisted Minds wants to go to. I'm wondering where they pivot Hardy as well. It would be really fun to see a Ryan here from Hardy, but very, very doubtful. Ryan just gets rolled by the sim and the Tor, like, good luck. We are going to Soro Vasa by Twisted Minds. So, in all honesty, I think I'd expect them to ban a tank here. No, not ban a tank. Ban a DPS. Maybe take Sim or the Torb out of the hands of Qadsiah. And then, like, okay, we want to run real quick, so let's just do that. We're going to play something super aggressive, just get up in your face and play a fast tempo to then knock you off course. Of course, if our Qadsiah were like, okay, we're going to take that, we just have Zayad on D.Va again, and he can just absorb all the damage, and then hopefully the backline survives. There's a lot of ways that this can go, and especially with a meta that's up in the air right now, it is interesting to see where the teams also pivot their bans.
And whether or not we actually get any subs, because both of these rosters are actually pretty deep. When you look at Qadsiah, you look at Twisted Minds, TVNT is an option to sub in for Hottie. You also have like so many different DPS players that you can see from Qadsiah that can come in and basically play anything. Tread versus Ziad, who do you actually want in? So a lot of different things at play here. Do you make any subs expecting specific bans to come through?
Well, we'll have a look what they banned. Looks like it's going to be Twisted Minds banning Sojourn first, and then Qadsiah banning the Ramatra. So it feels like they're just going to do the same again. Qadsiah are just going to run the D.Va, they're going to run the Torb and the Sim, and they're trying to just survive as long as possible, and then, hey, vibe in the front line. We'll see if Twisted Minds can come up with what it takes as we jump over to Suravasa as our second map in this series. Qadsiah up a map already. Twisted Minds still, it feels like, with a lot to prove with this new roster. Ideally, you'd have Quartz on a hit scan, but close enough.
I think that's the most pigeons I've seen in a single frame. That's 5.
There are so many on this map. There are so many.
Like, do pigeons actually exist in Suravasa?
You could have just stopped there. Good question.
Are pigeons just like a product of the deep state?
Okay, let's not get that into that. All right, Twisted Minds are going to TP out. Yep, Quartz and Yubi, Sim Torb, Hardy Ball versus Farah from Labja. So this was banned by Twisted Minds last map, and they're not going to have an opportunity to ban it again. And Labja is a very, very good Farah player. And against this comp,
I'm so excited.
Who shoots the Farah? The ball.
The ball or the Torbjorn turret.
Hopefully the Torb. Yeah, if the Torb maybe lands a Cheeto, then great. Like a little left clip, you know, like this, right? That's what you consistently need to do if you're Quartz. And honestly, Quartz's aim is absurd, but against the Farah, still very tough.
Oh, this is
what a direct.
What a treat, Jaws.
Disgusting on Funny Astro, okay.
Yeah, I mean, okay, Labda is one of those players that, as of 2023, we saw him in the Overwatch contenders ecosystem, playing a lot of just Farah. Farah very good at that moment in time, and we didn't actually get a chance to see Labda play a whole lot of anything else. Fast forward to 2024, we didn't see Labda play too much in the OWCS matches, but had focused a lot on being able to play hit scan. And so now to see the Farah back, yes, I know I spoke too soon. Labda is dead, but the Farah is very exciting.
Yeah, an unlikely murderer there in UB, killing the Farah as a sim. Don't see that too often.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think that's gonna happen, but you know what? I'll keep yapping about the Labda Farah.
They are trading, but Ziad falls. So, Qadsiah, they're gonna come back in with the self-destruct. They're gonna have this rush. Probably to Twisted Minds. They have Irony on the BAP, so another key person to kind of deal with the Farah and make sure Lab just put in check. But with the overwhelming amount of ults and it being 85%, it's a tough task to push on to this point. There's the rush, and here's the push. And the barrage is coming up soon. That's a lamp, but instantly there, you saw Ziad push everybody out, and that's history, really. The lamp almost useless in this comp with the amount of boops. A good little bonk onto Yubi. Follows it up with a nice direct as well. And Qadsiah, they're just rolling over Twisted Minds. And you can see why they wanted to ban Farah. And Rose, I mean, you've been the truth sayer, like the seer, right, with the crystal ball over this today. I'm gonna be honest, I think Lav is just gonna permalock Farah this whole series because this is what he's so good at, and it's good against this comp.
You might be right about that one, but hey, I'm here for it. Again, it's such a treat to be able to see Lab to play the Farah again after taking such a hiatus off of this hero to learn all of these hit scan heroes. But now that it's back and you can play this Farah permanently into the Torb and Symmetra, woo!
Oh, nice TP away. They do get the turret. Run, Astro. Dodges out of that last one, but look at how far they're pushing. Twisted Minds, they're trying to force them to use ults or just get kills so they can cap the point. Irony already down. There's 4 ults still online for Twisted Minds. They are alive, but their health bars are not looking so good. These early pushes, too, in a front line that is not very mobile, especially without Astro.
Yeah, Astra's such a big piece of this puzzle to make sure that like Quartz and Yubi can get in. The teleporter plays are very predictable at times.
Irony's just getting bullied. Actual cyberbullying happening, but sound barrier ends up coming in, so Checkmate thinks better of actually going for that kill. Here comes the barrage as Yubi already goes down. A second kill, well, 0.5 of 1. He got the turret. Self-destruct on the point. Irony alone. Another direct by Lambda takes care of the Baptiste. But even with the rush on the point, it was Hardy and Quartz that managed to stay alive throughout that fight.
Oh, everybody gets so low there as Checkmate tries to finish off some of those picks. Ultimately just feeds over some charge to Irony to get that window back online. Very expensive fight though. I mean, that was Wall, Molten Core. We saw both support ultimates being used by Twisted Minds. Still walking away with quite a bit of the percentage so far on this flashpoint, but
wow,
like,
Astro's dead.
Finding Astro's dead that's crazy. Crazy fast pick.
And Astro going down first as well. Not used to that is Astro and all the rest of his team. Yubi gets booped out of the TP. Oh, the boops are so good. I really like our Qadsiah's comp. The teleporter is very good at navigating around comps that are very quick because you can TP away. But not only can Lambda boop, Checkmate can boot people, Haku can boot people. Technically, Landon can also boot people with Suzu as a very small knockback, but we'll call it 4 real boops on our Qadsiah's side. And it's actually going to prompt a switch from Quartz over to the Cassidy.
I mean, at some point you have to deal with the Pharah, and I think if you're going to pick anything, it's going to be this Cassidy.
I'm sorry, where did Checkmate come from?
Behind the team. Hiding holes in the ground.
My word.
He's a mole person now.
Checkmate. Okay, finally kind of dealt with. I could kill Quartz though. We're in final fight, Rose, for this point.
Yeah, this is Flashpoint.
Yep, Landon dies though. Can they they're trying to get small boops away. A small little... Oh, the conk. The conk from Lambda.
No way.
Pushes everybody away so they can't touch.
Everybody was on it though.
It
was like, it wasn't just the concussive blast, but like, did you see that Ziad already had the boosters going?
Right.
So in case the concussive didn't come through from Lambda, Ziad was like, I got this. Like, I'm gonna push everybody back. So everybody's on the same page, and that's what's really making this comp function.
It is just the boop comp. Good luck touching an OT. We got 4 boops. There's the rush on the point to start us off with. Wall is going to separate the team. But still, you can just all play on one side. Looks like Yubi's going real deep. Just gets, what a surprise. Gets booped away. Sound barrier comes in across the wall. CR does end up using that self-destruct to get a remake as they find Hardy's mech with the self-destruct. High noon pop Quartz in the Lamb. Lining people up for a perfect eat. Not running out of Matrix. Saving the rest of the squad, and now Quartz is toast. Although I say that as Astro, okay, no, I lied. I was going to say maybe he saves him, but he doesn't. He gets absolutely destroyed, and here comes the barrage. This is going from bad to worse for Twisted Minds as they have no answer to our Qadsiah's Pharah, Venture, and Diva.
I mean, how does Irony even survive on the Baptiste? Because that's what the Venture is also hard countering. Not only do you have the Venture that can just sneak behind the team, boop the Baptiste out of the immortality field, but then what, right? Irony has the window, but where can you place that you're actually going to find value with that in this final fight? They
We're going to place it on the point, but yeah, exactly. They can just run away. It's a really annoying point to use window on because if you use it in the main entrance, you're pretty much dead. You're not going to get any value, sorry. Well, there's the Kitsune rush, and here comes Checkmate under the ground. Has to get away from that self-destruct, but still in a good line of sight as he picks off Funny Astro. Twisted Mind still scattered. Every single piece of them scattered to 4 corners of the universe where no one can find them and recombine them into a cohesive team. As our Qadsiah are going to take this map 99% to 0, a 3-0 on Suravasa. And that is match point as well.
Wow, that is that looks so unfun to play against.
Yes,
screw me, a tank player. It's like the unfun comp. You get booped around by the concussive blast. You get booped out of position by the diva. That looks so unfun. That's toxic, man.
Like, Twisted Minds,
I don't want to play against that.
It's the boop comp. And I think the audience too, thinking back to like the viewer preds, like this was 80+% in favor of Twisted Minds. And I was there with you. There with you. Twisted Minds are a phenomenal team full of very veteran players that have been proven in Overwatch League and in OWCS. Quartz is one of the best hit scans in the West, if not the best, on like Ashe, Sojourn. Yubi is a very, very good flex player. The Sim obviously was known for a long time ago, but overall has improved a lot as a player, going from year to year on Twisted Minds. Hardy is a ridiculous tank player, obviously mainly known for the Rhine, but his flexibility was almost forced in a way coming into OWCS, but has proven himself. Astro is a world star Lucio player. His Brig also very solid. Irony is an extremely good player, or formerly of the Hangzhou Spark like a long time ago. He's been around the scene. But they just cannot come up with these answers that OWCS are kind of forcing them to. OWCS, on the other hand, they are like almost a bunch of upstarts, right? And I think everybody thought coming into this, okay, scoreline, 3-0 TM. Maybe 3-1, you know, give OWCS a map. Maybe if you're a little spicy, go 3-2. But OWCS with this venture, or to be fair, world star player, championship player as well, checkmate. Then you go Labda on one of his best picks in the Pharah. Ziad, one of his best picks, the Diva, and the backline also Landon. Like it's a very, very tough comp to fight into. It's dire straits now for Twisted Minds, and I think this is going to be a big. It's going to be a big like wake up call. I think for the bracket in EU. This is a very competitive Euros. We're going to Route 66 in Twisted Minds map pick.
I want to give a quick shout out to Ziad really quick because I don't know if there are people that are familiar with this player because very young. Like, I think he's only 17 years old or something. So this is not a player that would have even had a chance to compete in the Overwatch League. But look at the caliber of player that this tank is. I think this is another one of those rising stars. To the credit of what you were just saying, a lot of like new up and coming players that are really looking to get their flowers. And I think that Ziad is absolutely one of those players. And so glad to be able to see him performing at this level on this team. And Twisted Minds, they got to figure something out. Maybe it's going to be a substitution here. I don't think that the symmetric composition is working out, unfortunately, for maybe what they were hoping for, or maybe they just need to workshop it a little bit. But now Psycho going to be coming in as that sub.
Psycho for Yubi. So, like you said, I agree completely. Step away from the sim comp. I think Yubi coming out here and Psycho coming in. Tracer hit scan for Quartz. Tracer and a hit scan for Quartz. You go into Root. You can slow things down a little bit. Hardy can maybe play the Ram here. We'll obviously see the bans in just a moment. You can play the Winston. You can have your backline on it. Even an Ana, like a Lucio Brig, like not Lucio and Brig, but Lucio or Brig for Astro. Yeah, the bans are going to be very important. And I think this is Twisted Minds. They're going, okay, this Torb Sim, which is currently kind of wrecking the hazard comps, they're not playing the hazard comp. So let's just switch things up completely and maybe even take us to a fourth and fifth map. Because I think Twisted Minds have the capability to do so. They can and have performed. A lot of these players and the team as a whole performed against some of the best in the world. So let's have a look. And it will be a ban of Diva for Twisted Minds. Okay. And then an Ana ban for Qadsiah as we go on to Route 66.
Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Take away one of Ziad's best heroes. You don't want that Diva to stay in the hands of Qadsiah. But I feel like if you are Qadsiah, you've seen this coming. Like, Ziad's been such a problem that we get a chance to probably see another one of Ziad's best heroes. Maybe you get a chance to see the Sigma, something else that Ziad has been very good with, but we haven't had a chance to see in that competitive play just yet.
And it frees up hit scan on Twisted Mind side. It frees up Quartz. They've like, my chains have been broken. I'm finally free. You know, like I don't have to play the Torb. I can play an Ashe. I can play a Sojourn in which I can just, as Quartz always does, go into a server, click 5 heads, and go, oh, okay, GG, and win the game. So explode into Route 66. Twisted Minds map pick. Is Qadsiah still on match point? A ban of an Ana on Qadsiah side and a Diva for Twisted Minds. Hazard being hovered. And yeah, okay, so last week's meta in a way, right? We're going back to Sojourn and the Genji for Checkmate and Lambda.
I mean, does that mean that we actually end up seeing something like Quartz and Psycho actually going back to the Torb Sim? I feel like not, because I feel like a lot of these teams have had so much more practice with something like versus Hazard, or like the Hazard, maybe the Wrecking Ball or something like that. And in fact, as we see the gates start to open up, not only do we see that Hazard comp on the defense, but Twisted Minds kind of look at that and go, well, we thought about the Hazard, but we can still at least play that Sojourn Torb, like what Qadsiah was doing to us.
Okay, I don't mind this whatsoever. Psycho on the Torbjorn. And then if they want to, Psycho can just switch to Tracer. Quartz on a nice angle. Do not give Quartz a shot. Good timing on the Suzu. Don't want to test him. Did Hardy just boop someone off? Oh, no, not quite. Yeah, it was the Lucio. That was close. Don't want that to happen. Nice boop that onto Haku. Almost boops him into his death. Not quite. A lot of focus fire, unsurprisingly, there onto Quartz. And with the Diva ban and just in general with Wrecking Ball, it's hard to really back up your backline, right, as the tank. You can go for like a proactive slam, like a counteractive slam. You can roll through people that are trying to jump on him, but ideally you're doing the opposite. You're setting your Sojourn up with kills, with slamming. But Ziad dead to Psycho, which forces Checkmate and the rest to back up.
But it's still the right point, because Qadsiah get a chance to have this high ground presence. But how much is Hottie Slams really going to help you when you've got this giant big girl sign in your face?
All good slam.
Okay, well, I'll disrupt a shot certainly helps with that, but
Hardy trying to get the instant fireballs there. Yeah, and he does it. Does it with ease. I say a rush on this high ground would have been nice if you could actually use it, but unfortunately we're all dead. Hardy taking a lot of damage, but Haku the same. Return to sender. 2 minutes to go. A lot of ults too.
Still a lot of time. Yeah, and a lot of ultimates. I mean, Twisted Minds should be able to get this first point. Oh, but like, I feel like you're just walking into your death.
Yeah, you are. I mean, Quartz, as soon as Landon popped his head round, instantly sniped.
Slam, snipe, back to the drawing board. I don't like that recontest. I feel like you just gave up so much of your ability to actually defend the second point. Now you're giving up a ton of space. Look at how far back you got spawned to if you're Qadsiah. And Hottie's ready and waiting for you for the slam down.
Yeah, only got Ziad. They kind of knew Hardy. You can hear the grappling hook. You can kind of expect. Oh, Quartz with the railgun. Yep, time to run. Time to run, everybody. Seek cover. And maybe medical attention. Doesn't manage to get anybody just yet, although forcing everybody from Qadsiah off of the high ground. Oh, what a shot. Abder's dead. Irony, yeah, just a kunai from across the map. And here we go. This is the Twisted Mind we expected to come into this week.
Yeah, look at how well Quartz is utilizing this high ground.
2v5?
Sure.
2v5?
I think that was overzealous.
Haku, are you changing? Surely you're going.
But even if you were changing, why would you give up all that ultimate charge?
2v5? Are you kidding me? Doesn't even switch to Brig? That is.
We're gonna chalk that up to a misunderstanding.
Well, there's the molten core on the door. Anybody want to walk through the molten cheese or no? Well, yeah, they are. They have to because they have to touch the point. Unfortunately for Ziad, though, he's already dead. And that's point. Goodbye, Qadsiah.
Jeez.
He's got that tire iron.
Speed run.
Ready to smack skulls. Oh, goodbye, Haku.
I like the little wrecking ball giggle for the kills. It's very funny. Yeah, but this is what we wanted to see out of this wrecking ball comp. I think where it has struggled a lot is sort of just breaking through and making sure that they can play a little bit more aggressively. But now that they're on a roll,
literally,
you've got that momentum. I think the wrecking ball comp can flourish a lot better. But Ziad's switching over to the Sigma.
I like it. especially on this point. You can play at the back, protect your Sojin. Labda versus Quartz.
I agree.
See if they can actually hold off this time banks. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. That's pretty big for Route 66. Uh-oh, yep, Quartz is already looking. Blade pop though, sound barrier comes in. Luckily, well, not luckily, but skillfully by Checkmate there, not dashing in straight away. Gotta wait for that ult to come in first before you make a move. Lamp down and Landon saving his own team despite of himself. Hardy gonna slam into the back line. 1 HP as Labda gets rolled through. Oh, not quite! He's hiding on the boxes. Oh, Astro's there though. Astro with a nice cleanup. And 3 minutes, Rose there on the last few meters before they get the cap.
This probably is just a cap. I mean, you have to walk into mines, you have to walk into an overclock from your spawn.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, it doesn't care about the grasp. Yeah, goodbye, Checkmate, dies the turret. Lamp on the corner. That's Twisted Mind's capping. Oh, there's the team kill. And that is what I want to see. And I think a lot of the audience too kind of clapping too. 2 minutes and 51 seconds on Route 66 is an insane time bank. And this is Twisted Minds just showing up. We don't want to play Torb Sim. Maybe we don't have a grasp on that meta comp yet. Just stick Quartz on the Sojourn. He's going to roll people or rail people. Hardy's just going to roll through people, set Quartz up. And then Psycho, very consistent. Same with Astro, same with Irony. Like, yes, this is what we turned up today to see. A close game between these two squads. Can they keep the momentum rolling, though, with Qadsiah on the attack now?
I hope so. That would give everybody a lot of hope, and I think just being able to see the series extend would be such a treat for everyone. But, you know, while the Symmetra comp hasn't worked out yet, I feel like just knowing that you have the opportunity to work on that with, like, the best Symmetra player in the entirety of EMEA on your team, like, give it some time. There are teams that composition will really work for, or really work against, I guess. And so I love that, like, you still have the opportunity to use Quartz and Psycho together, but Yubi can come in and flex. Qadsiah just isn't the right team to do it against. Labda has proven that already.
All right, they're going to rock out with the Sigma this time. I like that. Just not going to the hazard against kind of what Twisted Minds are throwing at him. It didn't work in their favor at all. Bit slower. Nice slam. Yep. That's a wrecking ball moment for you. Number 400. Slam into a railgun. And a kill.
Again.
Yep. Literally, that's it. Control C. Control V. Control V. Control V. Just keep doing it over and over and over again.
Okay, well, they have to back up a little bit. You need to play around this corner. Big Girls gives you a lot of good cover to actually play around. Quartz also is waiting for a good opportunity to actually use this charge shot, and it's a stalemate.
For the time being. There's the slap.
I was waiting for the overclock there.
On the side? Yeah, so was I. I was waiting for Raga to square someone up. Lab taking a little bit of damage. Getting the high ground control for Ziad is really crucial here, but Astro knows that and gets the boot. Does pay for it with his life, though. So now Twisted Minds, they want to try and find some sort of comeuppance for themselves. Psycho is in trouble, needs desperate help. 19 HP and very dead. Hardy not quite getting away with that kill either. Is that rush for Twisted Minds not bearing the fruit that they wanted?
And that's going to be Qadsiah pushing this cart basically to first point. I wonder if Twisted Minds actually do come out for another recontest. Oh. Hardy can stall.
Oh, he's just going to get booped around, though. He's going to lose all his health.
He's so low.
Yeah, there is another opportunity, but again, the rock, there's a lot of boops too. And the window from the high ground. Yep, Hardy's dead. Don't want to invest anything more here. Just happy getting the window out. It's going to make Quartz's life a little bit easier on this second point.
It does, but I feel like the window otherwise isn't getting a whole lot of value on the second point anyway, so it's fine for you to just use it to shore up the first one. Who's on cart, though? Someone's gotta move it.
It's a good spot. Ideally for Landon and Labda, they just kind of, you know, get a mortgage, kind of hang out, just stay up there for as long as humanly possible, maybe move in their late 50s, you know, like...
How much do you think that would cost on Route 66?
$2 billion.
$2 billion.
Yeah, inflation has hit the Overwatch universe, I'm sorry guys. Not only has it hit real life, it's hit the Overwatch universe as well. Quartz dead, 2 going to Labda. And now they can really get the snowball going. Now, how do Twisted Minds really respond? They can start throwing things in, but Hardy is very low. He's actually just going to get chased out. They stole the Mega Health Pack away from him, and the payload is still moving. Now, they're getting a little bit of taste of their own medicine. This Sigma pick right now and these late staggers on Twisted Minds players is just aiding in their time bank. Astro going down that late is really bad for Twisted Minds. Hardy's the only one up, Rose.
I don't even think he should come back in and touch, though. Like, you could throw the mines on the point, but I feel like that just throws extra ultimate charge at Qadsiah. And so Hadi's waiting in the wings for the doors to open and then maybe go in with the mines. These Haku sort of all on his lonesome. Maybe force out like a 2-person beat again.
Oh, here comes Hardy. Slam mines, more used from both Torbjorns. Holy mine kills, look at that. You got Checkmate got all of the mines there with the Molten Core. You take that, and now no one can move for a solid 15, about 10-15 seconds. Eventually, they're gonna try and get something popping. Checkmate on and off angle once again on the Torb. His turret is dead. He grabs the mini, but still trying to find a little bit of chunk damage. Oh, triple shoots Quartz. Quartz was not expecting that one. Oh, Checkmate, son. Go get hammer kill too. You know someone behind that rock.
Get him.
Oh
my god, Checkmate.
Get him with a hammer. Oh, Haku stole it.
Haku. Okay, that's rude, actually. That's so rude.
That would have been a small stagger, though, you know? It would have been a 0.5 stagger if I want to, like, nudge out a little bit. 0.5 second stagger. All right, 3.5 minutes now, and this Mega Health Pack is going to be really nice to control. Quartz is going to pop the overclock, but he's going to get fluxed. A sound barrier is already fading from him, and he's only got 100 health left. He's going to get hard forced here in this corner. A rock narrowly missing as Quartz leaps over it. Quartz getting out of this one alive is a miracle. As Twisted Minds are able to quickly regroup, but they still need to touch as there's only a couple of meters to go before they actually get the checkpoint, and Quartz is already dead. Checkmate finds the flank killers. Laptors on this high ground with an overclock of his own. Are you serious? This is an insane finish from both teams. 2 minutes and 14 seconds versus 2 minutes. Okay, defense just doesn't exist, I guess.
Yeah, I guess not. I kind of think that maybe is a Sigma moment on the attack. I think I would be very surprised if Ziad comes out on anything else on the defense.
Yeah, it's got to be, isn't it, really? Sure.
Those rocks were crazy good.
And even just the threat of the Sigma as well for the Wrecking Ball could be very annoying. The shield too, if you're a DPS, you're dancing with the shield for the Sigma, so you're not getting insta-killed by Hardy. It gives Quartz a few less windows as well. Both the grasp and the shield can stop Quartz getting value. Even if you get slammed, which is majority of the time is going to be a kill because you end up like above the shield, and then the grasp as well. It might be able to reach depending on the kind of angle. Yeah, I think this is a big intelligent swap up from our Qadsiah. Can they do it again? Can, on the defense this time, they actually hold and lock this first point down, because they came out with Hazard before and they just got rolled. They got wrecked.
Yeah, I do think this will be this will be better, I think. Don't worry. It's gonna be magnetic. They'll just stick to big girls. I think, especially at this position, the what do you like better, the Sig shield or the Brig shield for your Sojourn?
Brig shield small, Sig shield big.
Sig shield W.
Exactly. Bigger shield equal better. And there you go. Okay, Psycho on the Tracer, so no Torbjorn, and then already on the Zen. Don't mind this pick whatsoever. There's no one really on the side of Qadsiah to punish you on the Zen. You can play it slow. You got to be careful though of getting railgunned, but more often than not, they're aiming for Quartz because they know how much of a problem he is.
Checkmate too, actually. A very big problem on the Torbjorn. You can remove that turret. It does make Psycho's life a lot easier. Otherwise, that turret is basically just angle checking for wherever that Tracer is coming from. Smart positioning by the turret means that you're locking down that lower level, but Irony sniffs that out, is able to take it out with a huge charge, and Irony has Transcendence. Irony's going to have Transcendence.
A lot of damage. Oh, good slam there onto Lan, and forces the lamp, and Psycho's there for the follow-up. And with Irony on the Zenyatta, you have the orb just permanently on the Tracer, right? Or you have it on the ball. They are not dying. And then Tracer with orb, that's just not really a fair fight. Although you're not getting a fair fight against the Sojourn and Torbjorn anyway. So Tracer does need all the help you can get in that regard. Landon is kind of existing right now, or trying to at least, against Hardy. High ground with this window could be rather dangerous for Twisted Minds. An early lamp, but a good whip shot down to the low ground. He's still going to use this window, but the Transcendence is going to come out. A very, very aggressive bash there from Astro. Meets him in the middle as his attention was turned elsewhere. 5 seconds to go, but it looks like Twisted Minds on the attack might be able to secure this point. A Flux is going to make things a little bit harder, but a dodge from Funny Astro bashes out of the way of the Flux. But still, they're coming up with kills. Funny Astro died with the rally, and he's hoping and praying now the rest of his team can stay alive. OT ticking down as Hardy ends up going down too. Can't re-trigger OT as Astro goes down with the rally that they needed. It looks so good for Twisted Minds, but Qadsiah going to hold them just before that first point.
Sigma things again, but you also have to call out Labda's presence on that Sojourn. So many important picks towards the end of that skirmish, right before Twisted Minds were able to capture that first objective, and now there is a very clear win condition here for Qadsiah. Just reached that golden box right before that first point, and you in the series 3-0 versus what everybody has looked at as one of the toughest opponents in EMEA. How remarkable would it be for a team like Qadsiah to be able to do that? I think they have a great shot too.
Yeah, 2-1 in the standings. Then Twisted Minds going 0-2 is not something I had on my bingo card at all. I did not expect them to be in this position. Meta shifts, pick and ban system, very different look to the scene in general right now. All right, I mean, look, I don't mind this checkmate May either. Just make Hardy's life a little bit more punishing. Like, you just left click the ball and then everybody shoots the ball and he can't get away. Irony and Funny Astro on a very ye old classic backline in Brig Zen. It's a lot of frontward damage, and you are going to be able to punish people that step out of line, but getting through the walls, getting through the rocks, the shields and everything else, Irony's going to have to put up some big damage numbers to help Qadsiah and Hardy find these kills too.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I love the May pick as well. You get to block off the sightlines of Quartz, not just with the shield, but now this May wall. So there's so much versatility into these cooldowns.
Hardy is scared to slam too. He's scared to slam into the front line, slams high ground over and over again to get people off of it. But if he slams there, he's going to get walled off and almost instantly killed. And you can see he's going in, going out, going in, going out, not committing to a large slam until he knows it's safe. A slam onto the high ground does briefly knock Haku up, but not the same efficiency as what we were seeing before.
Ooh, everybody's getting a little low though, so Landon does have to put in the legwork. Haku dying means that Qadsiah are going to be stopped for just a little bit, but they're still making a slow move forward. Now that both of those supports are down though, I think Qadsiah do have to go back to spawn and rethink this decision, because we're going to start to see some ultimates getting worked up to on the Twisted Mind side. Already not quite as fast-paced as last time, but we already see Qadsiah making... Is that a change?
Well, I mean, the Torbjorn's definitely going to help summon. Look, the turret, it's not the best at shooting things, especially with armor,
like,
but...
Is it the right change here?
Landon's 1 HP. Look at the ultimates on the side of Twisted Minds already as well. Psycho, Quartz, Hardy, they pretty much got all. Qadsiah, they've really only got this window to use. And they still need to try and take control of this high ground away from Quartz. A good stick. Land comes out. Perfectly timed there from Landon. Window on the high ground. Does immediately get slammed. Does Landon use those moon boosts to get back onto the high ground? But now who can really test them? A mine's onto Landon, though. Straight up onto that window, so he can't do anything. Labda finds one in Irony, but forces the recall of Psycho as this fight is broken down. And with 8 seconds to go, Qadsiah's comp is just falling apart. There's too many factors, too many people they need to look at. And Twisted Minds are gonna hold. OT is ticking. Checkmate gets the touch. But for how long can he survive? Not long enough.
Yeah, now with the Transcendence in Irony's pocket, you're gonna see it pulled out, but not before Funny Astro goes down with a rally again.
Surely we don't see another clutch with a Doomfist. Checkmate down, Slan onto Labda. He's got a little bit of healing from that. Lucio too can stay alive on this high ground. Funny Astro's got the rally though, so it does seem inevitable. There's the beat, hits 2, needs kills though. Labda desperately trying to search for Quartz. Scott's Quartz Scrayer in his sights and manages to take him out, but it doesn't matter because Irony is there with the kill. And now OT is going to disappear just like that. Rally at the very end shores up the win for Twisted Minds. And now Qadsiah taken to a 4th map. A complete change up in compositions, and Twisted Minds, they are not out of this series. It looked dire in the first 2 maps, but this is more what we expected.
I think that Diva ban ended up being so smart because if you have the Diva available, you can't play that Brig Zen backline nearly as easily. Diva, obviously in Ziad's hands, so good at being able to hone in on something like that Zenyatta, push it out of position, just deal with the supports. And so I think if you had any other dive hero online that Ziad was comfortable with, then you go after that backline every single time. But perfect call there from Twisted Minds to get themselves on the board.
All right, map number 4. Same kind of comps, Rose. It's gotta be, surely. More Sojourn for Quartz, and a very, well, I'd say lackluster defense for both teams, because they, honestly, both teams just kind of got rolled on their defenses, right? On those first couple of rounds. The Torbjorn from Checkmate looked pretty decent, but the star of the show, at least for Twisted Minds, was again Quartz. Hardy did some good setting up on the Wrecking Ball. Quartz consistently hitting railguns. The backline for Twisted Minds, they can pivot in multiple directions. Irony, like way back when, did play a fair bit of Zen, and we're obviously seeing it here now with Astro, with the Zen Brig. Still think that's a comp they can go to, because it feels like Qadsiah want to slow this down, want to make Hardy's life a little bit more punishing. Love the idea with the Mei, ended up switching to Torb, and they couldn't get it done. There is Twisted Minds with a 4.3 KD versus the 1.7. Although those numbers are pretty big difference, Rose, it felt a lot closer than that, and the eye test in general was a lot closer too.
Yeah, absolutely. But I do think that the going is still tough for Twisted Minds now that Diva is back on the docket for the next map. I don't think that Quartz has nearly as easy of a time being able to get those railgun shots when you have to weave them past something like the defense matrix. Right. Especially when that can be on a swivel. You're just able to flick, be able to eat up a charged railgun shot. And the Zenyatta, so much harder to run if you know that you have to deal with a Diva on the other side. So I think Diva on the table for the next map. And Qadsiah get to pick where we go.
Yeah, we're going to go to a push too, so Qadsiah or Esperanza. Probably Qadsiah if I had to guess. Oh, really? You think Esperanza?
I think Esperanza, yeah.
Okay, a little 50-50.
I don't know.
I feel like if they want to go there, they can really just make use of the Sigma. But we'll have to wait and find out, of course. We're going to give the players a couple. We're going to be right back. Map number 4, Qadsiah versus Twisted Minds. We might go all the way. We'll see you in a bit after this. All right, we've got a game on our hands. Map number 4, Twisted Minds versus Qadsiah. We're going to Esperanza.
I was right.
Right. You took the 50-50 and you were correct. Let's have a look at the little...
50-50. It was like a 90-10.
It was technically a 50-50 because there were 2 bans, actually. Juno ban for Qadsiah and a Venture ban for Twisted Minds.
Ooh, okay. I like the Venture ban because we already saw just how much work that Venture in Checkmate's hands could do to them when you take a look at Samoa. So get that out of the picture. I think it does make like the Venture Pharah Wombo combo obviously not possible, but now what do you do if you're the DPS of Qadsiah?
Well, we'll have to wait and find out. I do really like the Venture. The boop comp on Flashpoint
the boop
was
comp. Yeah.
super annoying. The Labda Pharah. Very playable here too, mind you, the Pharah. However, if you are going to play the Pharah, expect a lot of resistance, a lot of hit scan. We'll have to wait and see. Match point, of course, for Qadsiah. Could end the weekend like, hey, 2-1. You're happy with that. Twisted Minds, on the other hand, 0 and, or could be 0 and 2.
I think maybe you just, yeah, I don't know if you really change up very much. I think Checkmate is very happy to be able to run something like the Torbjorn. If you expect Psycho is going to play something like the Torb or even the Tracer, and you have the Torb yourself to be able to pop down those turrets. Ziad, of course, going back over to the Diva that was taken away from him at that previous map. Gets to bring that back in full form, and so we don't see a static backline. Honestly, on either of these teams, outside of Landon playing the Baptiste, Funny Astro and Irony both on very speedy heroes.
Well, it's going to be Quartz versus Labda yet again. Hopefully this is going to be a matchup we see consistently in EMEA. Oh, Landon down though. Huber, Quartz to set up success for the rest of his team. No healing really now for Qadsiah, but he got Lucio. There's a Twisted Minds. They do lose theirs, so Hardy's going to be a little bit susceptible to dives like this. And even Haku taking one for the team as well. Psycho dead, got my one. Good team fight. Even losing your Kiriko that early, you expected to flip, or sorry, your Baptiste. The Landon is switched over to Kiriko now. Losing one of your supports that early is not normally a good sign.
No, no, absolutely not. But Landon said, you know what, okay, maybe Baptiste is not the right call. I can provide a lot more support on something like the Kiriko, especially if I have the Suzu available. Stops a lot of that one-shot potential, especially by Quartz. The Labda gets this high ground set up first. Perfect sights onto the enemy team, but cannot get his head taken off here.
High ground control. You see how, yeah, how dainty Quartz is being there. Like, doesn't really want to peek his head around too much. Knows the Diva could be up there in a blink of an eye. Oh, again, just moved off. Yeah, really nice checking there from Ziad. Dragon shot's going to be hard to really get past this Diva. Not only the Matrix, but just kind of tanking those shots as well. Checkmate being rather cheeky, but of course, Quartz somehow manages to bend time and space around him and still find a pick.
That's just a clean team fight win here from Twisted Minds. And that was also when Haku actually had that sound barrier up as well. So the fact that you removed that piece made that sound barrier unavailable. It's made this fight for Twisted Minds so much easier. And now, look at the ultimates that are on the table. 5 for Twisted Minds, basically 5 for Qadsiah. But Checkmate with what was that?
Well, he's dead. Psycho down. And that'll be a rush. They're trying to get something, almost get the D-suit there. Oh, but Hardy's overextended. Annihilation has to be popped there to try and get some additional sustainability as he's trying to kite out. Arms above his head, trying to get out of there. I mean, they've got the sound barrier if they want to use it. As Labda peeking his head around the corner. Both OCs have been used. However, Quartz doesn't get the sound barrier from Funny Astro, resulting in his death at the hands of Ziad. 41 meters to 30. Labda almost dying to a turret, but Hardy still managing to stay alive on that mega health bag. That sound barrier from Astro not hitting Quartz was their undoing there.
It's too bad as well, because you ended up seeing the overclock just not find any value, and just short of being able to capture that first checkpoint as well. Would have loved to see that if you were a Twisted Minds fan, but now Qadsiah is going to be the one that starts to push that bot towards that same objective. Nothing at their disposal though. They are able to actually get the lead in terms of meterage, but they've got to deal with this Psycho ult. Let's see where he actually decides to put that lava.
Yeah, Hardy's just marching towards the front line right now, trying to stop that checkpoint, but I don't think he's going to survive too long. Nope, he's dead. And Checkmate secures the kill. Okay, forward spawn activated for Qadsiah. Twisted Minds, they're changing things up yet again. Hardy back on the wrecking ball.
Oh, but the setup required for this is just enormous when you look at Qadsiah already starting to roll around this corner. Yes, Hardy can actually get a little bit of stall here, but look at this. He's already half HP and running with his tail between his legs.
Yeah, where is that setup? Like you said, you can slam people in, but around these corners, it's very hard to follow up. And Labs has already found a kill. And this is the big kind of time play you play with the Wrecking Ball versus someone like a Sojourn, is The Wrecking Ball's looking to set up. They need to be able to get into position where they can slam, go for kills, or set your Sojourn up. The enemy Sojourn just needs to find a pick. She gets a lot of extra time to really push forward and find an angle. Nice Molten Core usage from Psycho, though. Does force Qadsiah's hand. And they are retreating. However, they're retreating right into a Molten Core. But a good slam and a good railgun will result in a kill.
Oh, wait, but Checkmate actually, after dying, still had the Molten Core pick up the kill onto Quartz. So they're actually not losing a lot of ground. Ziad is able to get back into the mech as well. Landon and Haku both have their ults, and a big pick from Labda evens the score.
Well, the rush are being popped by Irony on the point. That turret is going to have a field day. Not for long, it's dead. Irony and Ziad do end up trading. A very messy fight in mid. But if you're Qadsiah 2 rows, you're still burning time. You have checkpoint. Like, Twisted Minds are throwing ults in. You're kind of exchanging them little by little. But you're still sitting on double support ult.
Yeah, I mean, just stalling the time here is important for Qadsiah when you already have the lead. Rush could also make sure that you can maybe finish out this map. Get out of the mines if you want to with the extra speed. But you just play keep away. Qadsiah are comfy with this lead.
Super comfy. Reclined even. Oh, good boop from Hardy. Quartz there, double tap on Labda. Couldn't even control his character. Here comes the push, though. That rush in the small building. Quartz did not stand a chance, and as soon as they saw the threat, they pounced. Qadsiah, though, still in the lead. 89 meters and counting as Twisted Minds switching to the Torbjorn and still not finding the answer to Ziad.
3 minutes and 45 seconds left. One final corner for this push bot to round. No ultimates now for Qadsiah as they look at an empty bank. So Twisted Minds, they should be able to get this, you would think. Sound barrier, they also have the Molten Core here. But how long can you actually stop this train before you realize that you have to be able to push back?
Sound barrier from Funny Astro. They're going to try and find a pick before they want to use this ult. But it gives Labda enough time to maybe find a kill. And, well, yeah, okay. Jinxed. Hardy there a little bit. Sorry, pal. Hardy dead. Molten Core used. There's the sound barrier to stop the Molten Core going crazy. Well, they managed to kill the Baby D.Va, sure. Issue is now you've burned Molten Core and sound barrier. 3 minutes to go. And this fight isn't over yet. No, Labda still finds a kill.
Yeah, wow. Like, Labda keeps getting these picks. I even thought on Route 66, maybe Labda could be the equalizer after seeing 2 picks in that final fight. And even now, still walking away with kills, working up to more ult percentage. This bot just got back to that middle ground, and everybody on Qadsiah got the forward spawns.
Molten Core for checkmate this time around. Gonna try and burn his way through this floor here. Just take this high ground. Not that much of a hindrance by the looks by Twisted Minds, but checkmate's on the off angle. A classic. And Torb, he gets another kill. Who'd have thought, huh? Who'd have thought we'd be in week number 2 of OWCS and we see checkmate on the flank as Torbjorn. Astro trying to dodge out of the way of the turret. And Rose, this is going from bad to worse for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Twisted Minds got wiped again, and now the bot is getting pushed all the way back into their territory. Forward spawns unlocked again for Qadsiah as they look at sub 2 minutes, and they still have the lead. That's a huge amount of meterage that Twisted Minds would have to make up. That's like 3 fights in a row that they would need, maybe even 4. As now Qadsiah push it, they just want to get the forward spawns. They give up that resource and space again, and Labda gets ready for an overclock.
Quartz is already down. Had OC as well. All right. Well, here comes the aggression from Qadsiah. Overclock available for Quartz. Just spawned versus Labda. And here it is. They're just going to use it in the front line. Vortex is going to hold him for just a moment. He's going to get his lights almost punched out there, but now Quartz is going to try and rip one of his own. He's got a good angle, but he was just hitting the checkmate turret. It has to back up. Annihilation for Hardy. Kills Haku, now chasing down checkmate, who does receive the Suzu, but a quick left click from Psycho does end the fight. 60 seconds to go and 116 to 41? Quick math says that's 70 meters-ish.
75?
Yeah, 75.10.
Something math, still a lot of meters, essentially, is the point we're both trying to get at. And this is match point. Qadsiah could win with this one team fight. 35 seconds left is not a lot of time to work with. Funny Astro has a sound barrier to their name, and Irony is fighting to get up to this Kitsune rush.
Any pick here, I think, is going to be game over for Twisted Minds. They have got the sound barrier. Twisted Minds are going to try and push this one. They've got a sound barrier. They've used it, and now they've got the rush to back up. They're going to be able to get checkpoint here, but Qadsiah, they just need one fight. Lambda does end up going down, and now they're in an awkward spot. They're actually behind Twisted Minds right now. Sia makes his presence known in the front line, but just diving over this high ground, and Haku also ends up falling. One pick is all they really need, Rose, but I don't think Twisted Minds are going to give it to him.
They're not. Twisted Minds are already turning this into a much scrappier of a map. They still need to win 2 more team fights, though, as Qadsiah come back with presence. They have the Molten Core. The Diva Bomb as well is going to make creating space on the spot very difficult here for Twisted Minds to keep control of. As you look at the wraparound that Qadsiah are taking, they want to make sure that this Diva can throw that bomb on point.
It's Labda or Quartz right now. One of them has to find a pick, and it's Labda. He just snipes Quartz out of the sky, and away, hey, this is help trying to get the remake. There's one person on the flank right now, and it is Psycho, not where he wants to be. Both DPS dead, 3v Thrive now on the point, as Qadsiah will walk away with this win. A 3-1 against Twisted Minds in quite the upset.
That was a very lopsided viewer prediction. Even us on the desk were looking at Twisted Minds as just being able to come in with such a special roster, so much mechanical skill, but Qadsiah have a better meta read right now. They made some big moves with something like that Venture Pharah combo, and all of the work that Labda has also put in to that Sojourn. I gotta give hats off to Zoe, though, because Zoe, before we went into this match, you said you can't count out Qadsiah.
I was shocked. There was so much disrespect. Yeah, that's right. Not underestimation. It was disrespectful. Because quite frankly, though, like Qadsiah showed us so many good looks. I was initially a little concerned. We saw a different tank in the mix for them, which we haven't really seen anything of yet. The quote-unquote fairly new player, Zayat or Ziad, I'm not entirely sure what the right pronunciation is. But yeah, we saw him in the mix over Tread, but they look good on that Diva comp. I really, really loved what we were seeing. That the entire composition just worked so well for them. And on the other side, Twisted Minds, it felt like they were unsure on what they wanted to do, especially in the first 2 maps. Like, it just seemed like they were split up a lot. They were just kind of disconnected from each other. Yeah, same issues that plagued them last week.
Yeah, it felt like, it's like, okay, we saw the first series and we heard someone talk like, look, this might, you know, we're going into like a new meta where like the Sim and the Torb, they're beating the Hazard comps in scrims, and Twisted Minds came out like, okay, we're beating the Hazard comp in scrims right now. The meta obviously is still going to be in flux over the next couple of weeks because of how quickly it has changed. I don't think anything's settled yet, even this comp now, with the Sim Torb and the Ball. So where does that leave them? They're like, okay, so we're going to try and force this comp. They do it a couple of times and they end up getting kind of stomped. And then they go, okay, we're going to switch things up, actually. We're just going to go what we know. And we're going to have Quartz on the Sojourn. We're just going to play to our strengths. And they do it extremely well. But Qadsiah kind of catch them in a weird situation where it's like, okay, you're not playing the meta, we kind of are, or like meta, like new meta, like we kind of are, and where it's so in flux, and maybe you're not having pure practice on this exact team comp, they come out with this boop comp that is like booping everybody around and like moving people and like you just can't do anything. Like it's I
mean, Rose was in physical discomfort watching Labda do Labda things on that Pharah, and then the Venture in the mix. Disgusting to go up against that. Disgusting.
I'd be so tilted.
Right?
I would be so tilted if I couldn't play the game. And I felt like most of the players that were on the receiving end of any of that CC were like, I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. I literally cannot play into the Venture, the Diva. Both of those things got banned, by the way, during the rest of the series because of how unfun that was and just how good it ended up being for Qadsiah. So.
Yeah, Diva was out, then they did win the map to keep themselves alive in that series, but then again, last map, it's just... Nope, it's not happening. Checkmate, earning themselves the player of the match honor. Great performance, but what else would you expect from
just
someone like
crazy
Checkmate?
flanks from the Checkmate Torb? Yeah, I love that. A little bit of a Venture play as well, like we mentioned. Very, very clean on the Venture. The comp where you cannot play the game because you are permanently being booped and you lose control of your character when you're in air. You can air strafe in Overwatch, but like it's very minimal. Very annoying to play against that character at the best of times. But Checkmate turned it into a bit of a nightmare, being real. The Torbjorn one. There's a couple of Torbjorn flanks, especially on the first map. I was like, man, this guy has got the Torbjorn gene. He just wants to go on the flank, pop the turret down, and start shooting.
Haku stole the hammer kill.
Yeah, he almost got a hammer kill. Yeah, that would have been a play of the game just on
Perfect
its own. So,
cherry on top.
Here it is. He tried. Good kill. Unfortunate. But yeah, I think very well deserved by Checkmate. We know he's a very flexible player too, and he played, like 5 heroes this map?
Yeah. I mean, Tracer, Genji, Venture, Torb. I can't remember the last one.
That was definitely someone else.
And the other
May
people.
as well.
Oh, yeah, May. I forgot. It was like 5 seconds, but it counts, I guess.
So I do believe I just heard that we are ready for our interview. Yes. Yeah. That was so happy. Well, rightfully so. There he is. Landon is joining us for a quick chat. It's great to see you again. It's been forever and 2 lifetimes ago. So let's start there. How are you doing, Landon? What's going on in Landon's life?
Doing all right. You know, new team, new stuff, new setups. Having a fun time though.
A fun time. I bet you had a fun time. You're going up against former teammates, Hadi, Psycho, of course, Funny Astro. Was there banter leading up to this? Also, of course, the Saudi players being very familiar with each other, or was this just serious business?
I mean, maybe a bit, but obviously no bad blood, you know? I love those guys to death. I had an amazing year last time, but playing matches versus friends is like a different level of fun, you know? Like nothing is quite as fun as playing against your friends in like an actual match.
And winning against your friends. I'm sure they had a little less fun than you did.
Yeah, just maybe.
Let's talk about the Surabasa, that kind of like boop comp. Like that was so ridiculous. Like so many things could like just knock you off course. Like it was so insane. What is your take on and like kind of the read on what is happening with the meta? Because last week it was like, okay, we're gonna see Hazard, Genji, Soul Tracer, like, you know, that kind of vibe. And now it's like, okay, well the Sim, the Torb, they're beating it in scrims, but like now it's kind of in flux a little bit and continues to be so. What is your take? Like where do you think this is gonna go?
I mean, our team was making like a couple of changes this week to prep for the matches, and then like a day or two ago, something random happened. I don't know where or who happened, but there was some Torbjorn virus just spreading through the system. And everyone's playing Torb, like the comps are changing randomly, there's Sim thrown in too. I don't know what's going on anymore. And whenever like I don't know what to do, I just go back. That's what I did today.
That's okay. That's pretty base. Just go to something that you really enjoy and that you're one of the best on. So yeah, that makes sense actually.
Yeah, I mean, the map looked great. We got a chance to see you guys get a really big win as well versus Twisted Minds. And so I know meta aside and how that much is changing. Landon, where do you feel like Qadsiah sits right now in terms of the strength of the rest of EMEA?
We haven't gotten to scrim we've had like 2 scrims since the Torb virus took over, like the region. So I have no clue, but today is obviously a pretty good sign. So we'll see.
Yeah, you played to your strength, you made it look smooth.
As well, so.
That's right. Landon, we're gonna let you go and celebrate. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you.